afternoon to you. Thank you so much for being here on Love and Marriage here on TV Sapiens. Yeah, Love and Marriage, we talk about relationships, how to make it work, singles, married, and basically everything about love, relationship, marriage. I am Oma. You're very sweeter on radio and TV. I can't be alone here. You've heard him. Freshman, welcome. No, I say it. Yeah. I can't be alone here.
Yeah.
And you can't be alone here.
Yeah, you're correct.
We have to be together to make it work.
To be love and marriage.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
It's not just marriage. It's not just love. It has to be love and marriage.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact.
yeah.
And, well, the pairing is what makes it what it is. Because a woman has to be represented, and a man also has to be represented. Lots of women are going through a lot in their marriages. There are men too who are going through a lot in their marriages. And sometimes it will look like the society has shaped itself in a way that women should suffer more when it comes to marriage. And that takes us to what we have to talk about tonight.
Meanwhile, first of all, how was your day?
Yeah, my day was fine. It's just that I overslept.
Are you serious?
Thanks to my wife who woke me up. If not, as I speak to you right now, I'll be sleeping.
I noticed something about sleep. You know, in this kind of job that we do, broadcasting, you know, sleep is medicinal.
It is. It's helpful. It's
very
it's
helpful.
Everything in this job.
You know, sleep, eating right,
and
vegetables.
Yeah.
Taking what?
Your bath.
Very important because it makes you fresh.
Yes. Just like if I didn't sleep and I didn't take my bath this evening, if I come here, I'll just sound like in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I'll just sound like in the morning when I was on Express because that was the last program I did for the day, you know. But because I had a good sleep, you know, and after that, you know, I ate before sleeping. Yeah. And when my wife woke me up, I bathed and then I started coming here. So it's as if it's a new day entirely.
Exactly, you feel
for
fresh.
Me, there's this refreshment both in my spirit and my body, and that's exactly what I came here with.
So it's really interesting. And yeah, talking about what women go through, you were sharing a story with me before we came on air.
Yeah.
And that story, I don't know, because it does not have an English representation. But in Igbo, we call it Ikuchi Nwanyi.
Yes.
Ikuchi Nwanyi.
Yes.
But in English, let's try to explain it. A situation where the brother-in-law or a relative, sometimes it's not even the brother-in-law, sometimes it can actually be the relative.
Some cultures is even the father of the boy.
My goodness. Where a woman is married, the husband that is directly married to her dies.
Yeah.
Whoever, any relative, some
cultures, elder brothers, some cultures, younger brother, sometimes
the father will now take over.
Sometimes just another family member
that is just.
It doesn't even matter the relationship between the woman and that person before the husband dies.
We're not even talking about the relationship of the woman.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that the culture has already said
No, when I say the relationship, this person may be the woman's enemy. But the culture doesn't put that into consideration, you understand? This person may even, because, you know, I was thinking about this, actually. So many things came into my mind, you know. Number one is, what if this particular person knows of course, the person that will inherit the woman knows even why the man is alive. Now, what if this person, because there's also a conspiracy of lust. You know that. Let's say this person wants to have this woman by all means. Probably she's a beautiful woman. Probably she's a hardworking woman. And sometimes you hear, especially these people, olden days, and people that are too much into culture, that they believe that a woman who is giving birth to girls, it's a result of what the babies the woman has in her womb. You know, sometimes it could be that this person that has been given the authority by culture to inherit this woman. Maybe he's married and he's having girls and the woman is having boys for the husband. Now, don't you think that this lust can actually make the person kill the husband just to have
this
the woman?
woman.
Selfishness can lead to that as well. So I was just thinking the reason why the people who made this culture put this together.
So that our viewers understand where we're coming from. Can you kindly share this story you told me?
Okay, yes. It was last night during our program, during my program, Soul to Soul. You know, somebody called. This is happening in Abia State. This woman got married. The in-laws helped her and her husband to start up a very good business, and God blessed them. They made lots of money. They built houses. They built a house in Onitsha. They built a house in Abia State. And eventually, I think this year, the man died of accident.
Okay.
Now, when this man died of accident, the woman was invited after the burial, and they told her that, look, everything that you have, everything that your husband have, automatically had been shifted to your husband's immediate younger brother. His houses, his bank account, his money, you know, your children, everything, including yourself. And the woman was like, my husband's younger brother, which of them are you talking about? I say his immediate younger brother. Say his immediate younger, they got married. They have 2 kids too. This man is married, and you want him to also marry me. On what ground? That is even irritating for my husband's younger brother to marry me, and the place where I come from, and my faith as an individual. Now, let's assume that it's okay. What about the fact that he has a loving wife, a woman that loves him? And I told him that even that woman that loves him understands the culture, and that won't be the problem. That all she needs to do is to mourn her husband for 6 months, and then come for the rituals, rites, for this man to now take over everything, you know. And the woman was like, no, I can't do a thing like that. It's impossible. There's nothing you can talk about it. I can't do that. She went to her people, and then they went to them and said, we don't do things like this, and we cannot allow it. And she said she can't do that. And then I said, okay, if you're not going to do anything like that, all you need to do is you leave everything, including your children, and then go back and look for another husband. Leave everything. And these kids you are talking about, 3 years, the other one is a year and a few months. These are the people you want to live with. I don't know whether I'm going to say total
Honestly,
strangers.
some cultures, certain, and that brings us part of what we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, part of what, because this morning, after hearing all of that, I decided to now talk about some of these obsolete cultures and Sapientia experts, and so many started coming up. A woman called from Enugu Ezike and said that she's been married for 12 years. And in her marriage for these 12 years, that her culture is that no man can see her nakedness.
Okay, I think I heard that one. I heard that one.
And when according to her, her husband can have girlfriends, but her husband cannot sleep with a married woman.
Okay.
And if her husband sleeps with a married woman, what should have happened to her if she had an affair with any man will happen to her husband. But her husband can, you know, sleep with single girls and nothing would happen. And from there we heard so many things. And when you look at some of these things, you discover that basically many of these things, they are actually against women. And the funny thing is that some people who enter into marriage, like this woman in Abia State, she doesn't know about this culture.
She didn't know. She didn't even ask of it.
You understand?
And a lot
She
of
just
young,
got to know
a lot of
about it.
young people, singles,
Yes.
get into relationships that will lead to marriage without asking
yeah.
questions, which is really, really important.
Without making inquiries, unlike
important.
even in the olden days, when it is difficult, you know, to actually make some of these inquiries. For instance, the olden day transport system was very, very poor. In the olden days, your communication was
Was
so
there
limited.
communication?
The only communication is face-to-face communication.
Face-to-face communication.
You must go to the person and talk to the person.
person.
You know, in the olden days, even going to a place isn't that easy. In the olden days, but these people, they still do extra things and they go extra miles to make inquiries about whoever their daughter is getting married to and whoever their son is getting married to. But now that it's even a little bit easy, people don't make inquiries again. People just meet in the city. And the next thing is that they are married.
But another thing, you know, in the process of making inquiries, a lot of persons have lost potential spouses, probably because, okay, this person met this person, they got serious about relationship and getting married. The guy decides to go on to make inquiries, and maybe the guy gets into the village and the guy is making an inquiry and meets the wrong person and gets told horrible, unimaginable things about the girl. A lot of persons have lost their relationships because of hearsay, because of what they heard in the process of making these inquiries.
Well, when we talk about inquiries like that, number one is that if you're making such inquiries, you're not making inquiries basically about the girl as an individual, because you are with the girl, you are with the guy. You can tell a little bit about the person's character. The major thing you're making inquiries is the family background. Family background and the culture of the people in question. You know, the culture of the people in question and the family background of the girl in question. And sometimes when you're making these inquiries, it is even difficult to know the particular individual you want to get married to. For instance, if you come to a place like my family, if you say Nwanze's family, and as much as some people may start pointing, but Nwanze's family is big.
Okay.
You understand? It's big. So when you're making such inquiries, sometimes you don't even just ask one person. You ask 1 or 2 or 3 people in that area. You understand? If all of them say the same thing, that is when you begin to now think towards that direction. It's not just entering into a village and then getting... And sometimes in every village, there is somebody that you know or somebody you know that knows somebody. That inquiries becomes a little bit easy. For instance, you are from Oka. If I want to make such inquiries in Oka, the first thing I will do is I will look for somebody from my place who is living in Oka. Then I'll first and foremost ask about your own village in Oka. So people, how do I get there? What do they do? Which kind of people are there? Which language do they speak? You see, this,
what kind of family are they from?
You understand?
What's their family known for?
No, this person I'm asking doesn't really even know your family.
Okay.
This person can just say, she's from Uruago, Oka, she's from...
There's no Uruago
okay,
in Oka.
No, sorry about that. You know, so there is Nkwele in Oka. Yeah, there is
Is there Nkwele?
There is Nkwele in Oka.
Nkwele? I don't think there's Nkwele.
No, there is. There is. There's a wedding I attended. No, yes, there's a wedding I attended. The church is in Nkwele. I will show you the IV.
It's a different. It's a different part of Oka.
Okay, maybe it's not. It's
not the core. You know, there's Oka South. There's Oka North.
Okay.
So in the Oka South is the core Oka.
Okay.
And you look at Umu Enechi, Umu Obo, Umu Dioka, Umu Bele. These are Umu.
Okay. Okay.
Go on, but that's not what we're talking about.
It's a grandchild, not Umu. You know. So now, by the time I'm able to get somebody who knows Omo Obo, then that person will now help me and connect to somebody who is from Omo Obo.
Yeah.
And then when I get to Umuabu, it doesn't end there. Within Umuabu, there may be a village.
Yeah.
And this other...
Umuabu is a village, then there are families.
There are communities, you understand?
There are now families that
they
make
are equally based and so on and so forth. So by the time I'm able to meet somebody there, I'm now asking questions about how are they?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, and from there, this other person will say, okay, I know somebody from that Ikunibe. And when we now get there, this other person will now say, so and so family. Which kind of human beings? Like in the olden days, they are concerned about Apolalo na Befa. Olden days, they are concerned about Alanai, the family, and you understand? And when any sickness, do they have any family sickness? You know. Now, when they look at some of those things, nobody is talking about the girl in question now. It's after all these inquiries, they now say, this particular individual are there. How is she living her life? Or how is he living his life? This is how this marriage happens. But in the present day situation, it is no longer like that. Because some of these people who get this wrong information, maybe they are lazy, they cannot go through this process. They just tell the girl, can I have your uncle's phone number?
Do they even look for uncle's phone number?
You understand?
Do they even look for uncle's phone? Because a situation where a woman, you know one thing about Igbo culture, you know?
Yeah.
When a young lady gets married in the Igbo culture, she's not just getting married to the guy.
No, she's not at all.
She's marrying the family.
She's marrying the community.
Exactly. But there's a place of modernization because things are, no matter how modern things become, the culture is still there. But there are some cultures that are obsolete.
Yes.
And these cultures that tend to cultures that tend to affect human rights. You know, there are human rights abuses.
And human beings.
Yeah, and human beings, culture that affect humanity. Because anything, no matter culture, whatever it is, any creed, religion that affects the basic rights of a human being no longer stands to be culture, no longer stands to be respected as culture. Anything you're doing anywhere and it's affecting the basic, there are basic rights.
Basic rights.
There are rights that are basic. And I really believe that young people, singles, should understand what their rights are. As an individual, what are your rights as a human being? What rights do you have as a person? You know, because if you're telling me this young lady that you're talking about, probably she's not aware of her rights.
Yeah, she's
even
not.
though the culture is there, it's still, remember, it's still human beings that made the culture.
Yeah,
it's passed down from generation to generation to generation, and because people have been doing it all this while, that does not make it right.
It doesn't.
Because a lot of persons did it in the past, it does not make
that,
it right. I've come to realize that there is the African culture, especially Southeast, Nigeria, Southeast, is highly embedded in patriarchy. Yeah. You said something, which I respect you for saying that. You said the truth. You said that after the program you did this morning, you found out that a lot of things, all these obsolete cultures, they were against women.
Yes. And one of the major reasons why they are against women is that men made them without consulting women. Women were not part of this making. Those days, women were treated more like slaves and not wives. Women were highly subjected, you know, to slavery and suffering in the name of marriage. And men were treated like kings. So now, a situation where people gather to take decision and your opinion were not sorted for, your opinion were not asked for, and you were not part of it. You were just on your own that whatever they decide, you are fine. And now, When the Bible says that a woman is a weaker vessel, human beings that time did not just understand where the Bible or what God
from.
was talking about. Rather, that we are seeing it from every negative aspect. Number one, that a woman being a weaker vessel means that she cannot even take a good decision
That she
for
cannot
herself.
even contribute.
You understand? You know, because for instance, if you look at that in Suka culture of a thing, you now discover that the man believes that a man can do all these things and get away from it because they have women and those days, and those elderly men were not actually doing it. I don't know if you understand. Those elderly men, I have to be honest with you, because they have this, they believe so much in this their tradition that if they do certain things, that they will die. You understand? So they were so careful about it. But they didn't know that there will come a time where young men will not see these things as anything. Yet that culture is still holding women. A situation where a woman will know quite well that her husband is gallivanting, carrying different girls.
And she can't do anything.
And she can't do anything. And even if she leaves the marriage and say, okay, let me leave the marriage and marry someone, the culture is still there. She may even meet the most gallivanting guy this next time. You understand? So that becomes a problem. And now, the people who should be in position to look at this thing and say, yeah, this thing is now obsolete. You understand? They are not talking about it. They are not looking at the modern day time. Omar, if we are talking about this, you can also think about these slave of everything. There's one they call Ohu, there's one they call Osu, and so on and so forth. This is something that we cannot even explain because it happened hundreds of years ago. You understand? But how can something that happened hundreds of years ago still affect a very young
individual?
Someone that was born in the 2000s and 90s.
You know, when they talk about this Osuka system and the rest of it, I find out that sometimes when it comes to developing the community, they no longer remember that someone is a
No, they don't. They don't. Even when they need help.
They don't remember that the person is Osu.
Because in my place, these guys that call Osu, I can just say that I think, let me not make mistaken, one of them is the richest in my community. And every family wants somebody from the family to serve the guy because he settles people. So somebody you feel you are bigger than, but your children, when you are serving, you're somebody's servant. But they are serving him. He's contributing a lot. He's helping people. But when it comes to marriage, they said no. For instance, when I was about getting married to my wife, you know, my people started talking about it. You know, the Obo couple, they have Osu, or they have who have to go make inquiries about it. I told them, if this is the only thing you want to make inquiries about, I'm not interested. I found somebody I love. And the reason why I don't even want you to go and make inquiries is because I don't want to have problems with you. You understand?
Yeah.
So the thing that is not, we're not talking about this marriage again because I'm already married to her as long as I'm concerned. But the problem now is I don't want you to go get any information that will now bring problem between us in our family. So let's assume that we did not even ask. But while I was trying to even convince my family not to make inquiries, my in-law, my father-in-law, had sent somebody to come to our place and make inquiries about us, whether we are the same thing. And you now discover that, for instance, my in-law is, before he died, he was an elder in Winners Chapel. So with his level and maturity in Christianity, he shouldn't be thinking of that. But they sent somebody to come to my place
and make inquiries.
Whereas I'm stopping my people from going to their place to make such inquiries.
because you don't want to have problems with them.
I don't want to have problems with them. You understand?
You don't even care. You don't want to know anything.
No, I don't. There's no need for that information because it may end up dividing me and my people.
Yeah.
Because there is this guy from my place. The guy is from my place. He got married. He met a girl in the U.S. When he finished secondary school, he traveled. He went to the U.S. You know, I don't know if it's not true. I just know he traveled and he read medicine there. He met another girl from a nearby village, that is Enugu State, just around Nara side. He met a girl and they came back. And the two of them said, we came back to marry. Father told their people that the guy told he's coming back to get married and he's coming with the girl he wants to marry. And the girl also told her own people that she's coming back and she's coming with the man that wants to marry her. And they asked which village this one is from Balese, this one is from Isiobo Nara. So it's this one is from Nara. So they are quite close. And they say, wow, thank God you didn't tell us you're marrying a Yoruba person. You didn't tell us you're marrying from Benue, that you're just getting married even to your own sister. Because just see this community. And they came back. So while they were about preparing for the marriage, the guy's father started, before you know it, that the girl is so sure that this marriage will not work. The boy called the family and said, this thing you're dragging will only affect you. Leave this thing you are dragging. If you know what this girl has done for me over there, if you know what this girl has done for me over there, that what I am today, that girl made it possible because that girl was already in the U.S. She was already a citizen before I entered that country. What she has done for me, it's just that as a parent, I cannot say that girl has done more for me than you. But that you see this house you're living now, you see this lifestyle, you see those younger ones that are doing well now, you see the cars you're driving.
It's the girl.
If it's not this girl,
you will not have them.
You will not have
So
them.
what did the father say?
So don't go that side. The father said,
okay.
If you want that, you will go and die alone. The omonna, they can never go with the guy. The guy went to the guest's house, called the parents, told the parents what his own people said. And the girl started crying. The boy said, why are you crying? Why are you crying? He's crying in celebration. The boy said, if it's possible, I have come to pay the bride price of this girl to you people. Can I pay? Give me your list. I'm going to do everything with money. And the homeowner of the girl also gathered together and said, we cannot give out our daughter like that. That if you cannot come, the guy said, I will come with my friends. I'll come with some people from the village. But my father will not come, my mother will not come. And the homeowner, my own homeowner will not come, but people will come. And the girl's family said, no, it's not done. The girl said, if you don't want to receive them the way they are, I will receive him the way he is. And the family refused. And the girl said he wants to go to Lagos and check her documents. She traveled to Lagos. The boy traveled to Lagos. Since 2014 till today, they have not returned to this country. And they have 3 kids now as I speak to you. They are on the social media doing very, very well. The boy's name came out as top 10 heart surgeons in US. This Times magazine.
Wow.
Top 10 surgeons in US. This is somebody that have driven away from our village. Because that boy is not coming again. He is sending money.
And they are taking the money. They're enjoying the money.
He's sending money. He's doing everything. But he told them that we can't come. The girl told her people, she's sending money to them, doing everything. We can't come. If anybody say he wants to come, they will say no. Stay there. Stay there. Whatever you want, we will do for you.
We will do for you. Don't come here. Don't bring that your. Don't bring that
Stay
your
there,
bad fortune to us.
Enjoy that your culture. Enjoy the Osu.
Yes.
Enjoy the Amado.
Whatever it is.
Enjoy it. We in America, because the boy
it's a free society.
Because the boy told them, the boy called the woman and said, I want to talk to you people. Let's assume I came back with white woman. See, so and so person, so and so person, so and so person. They came back from white women. You accepted them.
You don't even know where they are coming from.
Did you go,
you don't even know
go
anything.
to make inquiries?
You don't even know anything about their ancestry.
Do you know that some German, that the guy told them that Germans, Hitler, his people carry many white people as slaves. There are people who go to Germany and bring white women. You will go ahead, they will marry. Some of them brought women from Kenya. Some brought black Americans. Do we have anything like black Americans if not for slave trade that took their grandfathers there? Yeah. But you accepted them. Some came back with Yoruba women, Hausa women. You accepted them. I came back with Naira girl. You said no. That's no problem. But if you can have everything, have everything, because for this marriage, let me now prove to you people that this your culture cannot kill anybody. That if he kills us,
we'll know, we'll find out.
Die. But you see, this girl,
I'll marry her.
The guy said that he's so convinced that this girl is meant for him.
For him.
That it is better for him to even choose death than to choose disappointing this girl. That even if this girl says she will not marry him, that he will not even agree. That he will marry the girl. That if the girl says he will not allow the girl to enter America again. That himself, if he disappoints the girl and they are quarreling, that himself as a guy may not be able to enter America again. That they are married already. They went back. They did white wedding there. They did court wedding. They started having children.
That's the only thing they recognize there.
Yes, then. They started having children.
And when you do so much, for example, if you're in the UK or in the US, when you do so much for the community, they give you citizenship status. They make you a citizen.
No, they are citizens already now. The girl was a citizen before the guy arrived. I think the girl went there with either lottery. She got citizenship or so. So the girl was the one that helped the guy.
Helped him come in. When he came
you understand?
in, helped
when
him
he
stabilize.
Came in, helped him because I think the guy just entered America like entering America.
Yeah.
And the both of them getting to know that they are from the same place. The girl now started helping him.
They now born dead. They born dead.
According to the guy, the girl never talked about marriage. The girl already had friends with class. But while they were going, he was the one that started falling in love with the girl. And from there, himself started talking about marriage. And they agreed. And he now said, who is that person that will now come and say, I shouldn't marry? That, because the guy said, I told my parents, give me any tangible reason why I should not marry this girl. If that reason is good enough, I will not marry her. And they said, oh, so what are you talking about? This Ohu, is he the father of the girl that was sold? I said, no. Is he the direct grandfather? They said, no. Is he the great grandfather? They said, no. They said, Daddy, were you alive? Were you here when it happened? When they did that marketing? No, I was not born. Even my father was not born. Mommy, were you here? No, even my mother was not born.
You just heard. My goodness.
They gave birth to you. They told you. By the time you are gone, they are still going to tell us the same thing will now happen to the children that we will have. Then we will tell our children the same thing will happen to the children that will come in the next 100 years. The guy said, Daddy, it has to stop here. What is the need of education? Why are we getting educated?
Yeah. Very important.
Why are we getting educated?
Very important. Very important.
Why are we exposed? Why did you allow me to travel abroad?
Yeah.
Is it not to bring good things and then destroy bad things?
Exactly. Because you look at it, when it comes to development, when it comes to bringing things that will help the society, they accept gifts, they accept these things from these people. They accept it. But when it comes to marriage, they will not start telling you, okay, just look at this scenario you created. The young lady whose husband is late. And they are now trying to force her. They don't even care whether, does she have feelings for this guy, number one?
No, it's not. They're not.
Number two, are they going to be compatible? No.
The worst is that this man has a wife, for God's sake.
And to make it worse, that all the property, you know, maybe another time we're going to look at this property inheritance.
Yes.
That all the property that belongs to this other late guy automatically is transferred to the young man. The young man now decides
now? He was not there when they started hustling
together. It's not as if even if the guy was already made before he got the wife, there are still contribution.
There's the woman.
The wife has contribution in the home.
Even at that, this woman in question has 2 boys. So this man has children. If you take everything, what are you going to use to train those children? You want to take everything. You want to take a woman, your brother's wife, which in my own culture is even abomination. You don't do a thing like that. And you're not even considering the feeling of your own wife. The fact that all of a sudden, another woman is coming in to share you with your wife. And you're even proud of it. And when we are talking about this thing, we are not talking about 50-year-old man. No. We are talking about people in their early 40s. So. We're talking about 70-year-old. We're talking about young people. A young person that should be the one to say, no,
it's not right.
This is my other brother's wife.
Let her live her life. She has her life.
Even if we have culture, let's ask her what she wants.
Yeah. Let's find out what she wants. Let's find out, does she even have the feelings? And this is part of the reasons why we have a lot of violence in marriages. Yes. Why we have a lot of people, because people are struggling in their marriages. People are not happy.
Because what if you force this woman and she tried to resist and you force her and she now said, okay, no problem. She now entered into that marriage and poisoned the man.
Because she's not happy.
She doesn't want it.
She doesn't want it. All she'll be thinking about is how to eliminate that guy. And you know...
And the funny thing is that the guys in question, they are not even thinking.
They don't think about these things.
They are just lost.
They don't consider these things.
They are totally lost after that.
They don't consider these things. They don't know that... First of all, ask this person, what do you even want?
Are you interested?
Are you interested? What kind of life do you want to live? And for crying out loud, for their wives, they don't care. She just lost her life partner. She's grieving. This is not the time for you to start telling her all those. Why don't you allow her to grieve and grieve in peace? You know, and really, as we round it up, why should people actually ask questions before they marry into a family? Because if this woman had asked questions about the culture, about what happens, but are you going to start asking, are you expecting your husband to die? Are you expecting your wife to die? No,
nobody is expecting, but that knowledge is important. Are you getting it? For instance, if there is such a culture, this lady would have discussed it with her husband.
And that is why a will.
You understand?
A will is important.
And then there comes a will. In as much as the man will not say, some men will just look at it and say, don't worry, I'm not going to die. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not going to die. But the truth still remains that if this woman had discussed it with her husband, probably right now she would have had a better idea on how to go about this. Because at least her husband would have said something. Husband would have said, if there is nothing, You can do nothing if it happens like that. Or if it happens like that, of course, so and so thing, you can leave the house in the village for them. But this one in the city, if there come clues, this is what you're supposed to do. But still, the man will tell you that he's not going to die. You know? So, but the need is, one needs to know this thing so that at least you know the culture of where you're getting married to.
And you get yourself prepared.
So that you know whether it's something that
you can
you are
deal
really,
with. You're comfortable
you can
with.
handle.
Yeah.
You know, and when such opportunity presents itself, it will not be a new thing to you. You understand? You already know that this is this, and you know the quarters or the quarter you can go to make moves or to ask questions. But right now, that woman is in the dark because she's not aware of anything.
Not at
It came
all.
to her as a surprise, and that's.
But sincerely, there are human rights organizations. Okay, there are organizations that fight for women's rights that can actually help her.
Every organization can help her. The church can even help her. Are you getting that? Women ministries can help her. Women Affairs in the state, Ministry of Women Affairs, can help her. Human rights can help her. Court can help her. You know, there are so many organizations that can help. International organizations, non-governmental organizations can help her because the thing is man seeing humanity.
Exactly.
Strong humanity.
Exactly.
If they are just taking all the properties,
they don't even have the right to take. You don't take the property.
But you don't force somebody to take that person.
And that's why oh my goodness, you just made a point right now, freshman. You just made a point right now. You don't force somebody to take over somebody. It's just marriage is a willful thing.
If, for instance, you can, if you're stronger than me, you can force me and take my laptop. If I can fight back, if I'm not prepared to fight back, I will retreat. I may forgo it. I may come for it later. I may talk to someone that will help me. But you come in to take me. In a broad daylight.
That's it. And
you are not an armed robber. You are not with gun.
You will not do anything.
But this time around, it's not even, you are telling me that you are not seeking my opinion to know should I take it, but you're just telling me that, look.
This is how it is.
This is how it is.
This is how it is done.
Just prepare yourself and come over. I'm taking you.
Just go and grieve. After grieving, just come. We'll do. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. Very, very horrible.
No,
it's really important.
It shouldn't be mentioned.
Yes, it's really important that ladies should know the kind of culture you're marrying into. And as a guy, if you have such culture, they should tell the women, right?
Yes.
Have that discussion with your woman. Let her know.
And if you let that woman start saying it from the beginning, and again, that, look, I cannot be part of this.
Again, the man in question, what do you even believe in? Are you this kind of a person? Okay, when I was way younger, there was this brother of my dad, my late dad, who died. So some of their king's men were now going to take property. It was actually my dad that rose up and said, no, you don't do. I was small. I was very small then. I think I was in primary school when I overheard those conversations. My dad stood his ground and said, no, you don't take the property of, you don't, how is she going to take care of the children? You want to take the property of her husband. So you, as the man that is married to that lady, ensure that you safeguard, because the lady is your wife.
And you have your children.
If when you are no longer here, people take over your property, how will your children be trained? There's every importance that a husband and wife should have that conversation. But and just like you said, as a woman, understand, as a woman, even as a man, understand your rights. As a human being.
Be open enough to say, this thing, I can't do it.
It can't work.
You understand?
It's not working.
Because another thing you need to ask yourself, this man died. We know that he died through accident. But how are you sure that the brother's hand is not in his death? Because a lazy man can kill his brother to take over everything.
Yeah, yeah.
A man that has lust in him can kill his brother to have his wife.
Exactly. And he's
A
not,
jealous
oh
man
my
can
goodness.
kill his brother.
He's not even thinking about the dead brother.
No, he's not.
The fact that the dead brother could, even though dead men don't talk, dead people don't talk.
Yeah.
But the fact that his spirit could actually be angry, how would you want to, even as a man, any man?
He will tell you that the culture is there. He's not the first person. He's not going to be the last. So
No. That's very, very horrible. It's really important. Singles is really, really important before you get married to someone. As you're courting, as you're in that marriage, speak about these things, talk about these things, discuss these things. If there are cultures, if there are things that your people do, your wife needs to know about it. As a man, you need to tell your wife. And as a woman, you need to ask questions. Okay? And find out your right as a human being, because this idea of somebody trying to acquire you, no.
When you discuss some of those things and you discover that, look, that naturally you cannot change it, then you can forget about the marriage.
True.
You don't even enter it in the first place, because first you need to, the right person to discuss with is even the person you're getting married to. Know the person's mindset about this thing.
Yes.
You understand? If the person is into it, then you may not need to go into that marriage.
True.
But if the person thinks it's not good, that means you're not alone. Then the both of you can go into it, and I believe that you can have your way.
And finally, from me, for young people, please, there are certain things you don't do. There are certain things you don't consider. Marriage, love, relationship, it's about two people. You have to bond. Now, you're a young man, and you're having this idea, this mentality of trying to Ikuchi Nwanyi, to take over. Is she going to be, you don't want her to be attracted to you? Like, I don't get it though. Please, young people, singles, married people, understand these things. All right? Don't just, everything is not all about the culture said it, that is how it's done, that is how it's going to be. Find out what this person needs, because we are talking about emotions, human emotions. That's it from me today, Fresh.
Yeah, the thing is, some of these cultures that is causing confusions, I think we need to do away with it, you know. Even if the community, if they are not interested in doing away with it, individually, we as people, personally, I will say, no, I can't do this. The next person says, no, I can't do this. The next person says, no, I can't do this. Now, this guy that left the country with his girl, and they are doing very well there.
Very well.
Now, I'm sure that if they come back, nobody will fight them.
Who will fight them?
They will now discover, their people will now see that culture did not
kill
kill them.
Is it in this Tinubu era?
You understand? So that is the thing there. Let us do our best to do the right thing. You don't throw away a treasure because of a dog's bone. You know, there's difference between a treasure and dog's bone. You may end up eating the bone. It can even it can cause damage. But treasure is treasure. Let us do our best not to allow this culture of a thing to distract us or to destroy us, our relationship with people, because the people who made the culture, they are no longer here, but we are here. We need to have our own culture this time around.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today on Love and Marriage. We do hope that you learned so much from our conversation. We keep the conversation moving. I am Oma. You're very sweeter than radio and TV. And with me,
I'm Freshman Jay, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully we are meeting you again on Tuesday next week.
bye-bye.